Oh.
Yes.
Hi. Hi.
My name is Eddie.
And I'm Omari.
And we are the two voices of the week.
Stark Natives.
Our culture unfiltered.
Discussing
the way of this world.
And the next.
Two voices.
Two voices.
Queer.
Queer.
Candid.
Candy.
Discussing the way of this world and the next.
Discussing the ways of this world and the next. Discussing the ways of this world
Candid.
and the next.
Discussing the way of this world.
Discussing the ways of this world and the next. It does feel good
To be back.
to be back.
Yes.
It's
It's been a little bit of a while.
You know, it's crazy. It has not been that long.
I know, but it
felt
feels
like a
that
long
long.
time, y'all.
Mhm. It does.
It does feel good to be back because I like this.
Yes.
You know, we get to talk shit
Mm-hmm.
in person.
And not only that, but this will be our next cinema week.
Yes. And guess what movie we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
This was actually Eddie's suggestion.
Yes, it was.
It's a cute little movie. It's an
Yes, it is.
LGBT movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's festive.
It is HAPpiEst season. Yes, this is going to have spoilers.
Oh, this is gonna
So-
have spoilers. Yes.
Harper, that is kind of like the main character,
Mhm.
wants to bring Abby to her hometown, to like her family, because she
Yeah.
wants to spend Christmas with her, because she wants to make Christmas like a thing, because she loves Christmas.
Mhm.
But she knows that Kristen has like a past with the holidays, so
Yeah.
she felt like, let me see something so we can do. But she realized that she made a mistake because she is not out. Like, she is not out to the family. Like, she might be out to her friends in the new city, in the new
Mhm.
area that she lives, but in her hometown, nobody knows that she's a lesbian.
Now, mind you, my eyes
Mhm.
rolled a little bit when that
Yeah.
part came because I was like, "Oh Lord, no,
No.
we're not about to do this."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, we're not about to do this
Mhm.
coming out shit with these grown ass women and all this bullshit."
Yeah.
But it really did take a different turn, and it felt fun. It felt a
Yeah.
little smart,
Mhm.
and oh my gosh, the characters
The characters were like, each character were like,
it seemed like all the characters had an issue with boundaries.
yes, everybody had an issue with boundaries.
Like everybody had an
Mhm.
issue with boundaries. Either it was like in a negative way where they
Or
were
in a
like
po-
doing too much,
yeah.
or it was in like a overbearing kind of
Mhm.
loving way.
Yeah.
Where it was too much.
Too much. It's like everything was like over the top.
Yeah.
The main thing about her family always wanted to be perfect. They wanted to be like the ideal family, and part
Yeah.
of that is because her dad is a person that is in the public sector. It's kind of weird to me because it's like, how are you guys wanting to be perfect, but y'all be like too much,
Yeah.
like too much about everything, and it's like, y'all don't have a little bit of decency.
But it's like hiding in
Yeah.
plain sight.
In plain sight,
like,
yeah. It's like, well, we can be like this in person, but we cannot be like this in public. Seeing the dynamic, like, you can tell that Harper and her sister Salone do not get along.
Yeah, they don't like
and
each
that
other.
they compete with each other because they
snippy.
know that they need to be best.
Yeah.
Like, they need to be best. They need to be the one that
Because their parents like pit them against each other.
yeah, they did.
Their parents pit them
Because
against each other.
when you see them, like when we coming into the house and being introduced to them and everything, and they do like the classic thing, like, oh, well, this is the living room, this is that, and then
Mhm.
you can kind of see that the middle child gets
Oh, that
forget,
poor
like,
baby.
they don't care for her too much,
That poor
and it's like,
thing.
nah, and they only care for her for like to do things around the house,
Just
and that's
menial
it.
shit like, hey,
Yeah.
could you fix the Wi-Fi?
Uh-huh.
Something's wrong with the router. Could you?
Yeah. Can you do that?
It's like, really, bitch?
Mhm. Harper is the youngest.
Mhm.
Salone is the oldest. You know that Salone is alive, but the way that she talks about Salone is like Salone was dead.
Yeah. She was like, she was very smart. And
She
they
was
were
very
in
intelligent.
school together.
Yeah.
But then they decided to, have twins and
Yeah.
do this
So
basket
now
thing.
it's like they only care for her because of the family, because she has a mixed family.
Yeah.
That's really what because of the children's. Not only that, there was a moment where the dad is like, well, this are my only 2 grandkids because I'm not gonna get no more. And he kind of like looks at the other 2 like,
Mind you, it's a very white movie.
yeah, very white.
There was a scene, so like
Mhm.
at the beginning of the scene, like you have Kristen Stewart's character in bed or whatever,
Mhm.
and then like it just pops up with these 2 children, these twins, and I was like, I asked Eddie, I said, who are these 2 brown children?
I was like, y'all look out of place.
Yeah, it's like, who's this kid's?
And they were Sloane's twins.
Yeah.
Because her husband is black.
Yeah.
And they got their little business together. And them kids, after a while, I
They
was
were
like, fuck them
weird.
kids.
Yeah, they were weird. And it's like Dan Levi, or Daniel, technically.
Of,
Daniel Levi from
Schitt's
Schitt's Creek. He's in there, but he's more like a supported character. He's one of like those main examples about supporting actors that know how to steal the scene.
Yes.
You know, that they only have like a few seconds. It's kind of like Anna Hathaway on Les Mis.
Yeah.
She only was there for like 15 minutes, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a supporting actor.
And won an Oscar. Viola Davis. And Doubt with Meryl Streep. She was only like 7 minutes of it.
Yeah, and she got like nominated in one.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel Levi was like a good example as well. Like to me, he stole the movie. No.
He was like, way to honor the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Because she says that she wants to ask her girlfriend's dad for her hand in marriage. And he's like, really? Like, why? This is not only is it heteronormative that you're trying to like have this marital bond with her. Yeah. But then you're also going to ask her dad for her hand in marriage. Like, that is so old fashioned. That's so throwback, and it's like you don't need to ask that man for his woman's
exactly like the fact, like she's not her, like a property,
right?
Mm-hmm. I'm more of like, who is your best friend? Yeah. That's the one that I'm going to ask,
right?
If he okay with it, because for me it's like if Omari tries to get married, his boyfriend better be asking me for the hand in marriage. Like the fuck? Like if my person
you about to be preoccupying my motherfucking friend time with all this marriage shit.
Yeah.
You better ask me if that's okay.
Uh-huh.
The thing that's interesting about his character though is that what I really realized, like every time he spoke, I felt like he was supposed to be what people would think about certain things in the movie. Because to me, I think what was really cool about the movie is that it kind of felt traditional. It felt in a way. Well, it was just like, you know, she's a lesbian and her friends, and then it even has that the coming out thing is dated to me. But I think the way they did it was good because he said a lot of the things that I think that a lot of the audience would be saying. Yeah. It's like, really, bitch? Like, I'm about asking this one.
Yeah. It was more like he was the one in time. Yeah. With the time, and everybody else was like a little bit behind.
Right.
You know, so it's like, no. One of the things that I like about the movie, or I actually like the movie, is the sense of classicness. Of like that classic holiday movie.
Yes.
And that's really what I like the most of it. And I also like the style that it felt a little bit like Birdcage. Oh, it has some similarities to Birdcage, and it's like that's what it comes like the classic. And so I really like that because it's like it's that LGBT community, or it's that LGBT movie, but it has a classic feel to it, to the point where this is like a holiday movie.
So Claire Duvall, if you ever seen like The Faculty, or if you've seen like any movie from like the 90s or like the early 2000s, Claire Duvall is in it. And she always played like this very edgy character. She always had like an edgy vibe. Yeah. Every character she played, she might have played like an edgy lesbian or just an edgy outsider. She always had that kind of vibe. And it's kind of cool that this is her movie and that she, you know, this is very different really from the kind of character that she ever really played for me. Like, so.
And she actually made the...
She wrote it too?
She wrote it. She did.
Come on, Claire.
Yeah. It was her and somebody else. I
love that for Claire. That's cute.
But yeah, she was, and but I like that. It has like the classic kind of like with the coming out story and everything. It has kind of like the classic, like there was the ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend in high school and everything. But at the same time, we also have the ex-girlfriend. Yeah. Like the one that she actually fell in love.
And nobody knew
about and everything. So it was intriguing how they did everything. It did have those classic kind of like kind of thing that you kind of expect for like a person that has been in the closet. And I think one of the major things that is kind of like what Omari kind of likes is that moment with Dan Levi.
He said something that a lot of people don't say in movies when they talk about coming out, is that everybody's coming out story is different. And people think that you're supposed to come out a certain way or come out one way, come out this way. And it's like, it's not the same. And every reaction isn't going to be the same. But you just have to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't. Because I never personally came out.
No.
You know.
And
but I'm always
I
myself.
did,
Like
but
I'm
at
never
the same
like.
time, didn't.
But I'm never like a masculine. I'm never like this different version of myself. I was never
Yeah.
this different version of myself around
Mhm.
my family. You know what I mean? Like I've always been who I am and behave how I am. So I didn't feel like there was really a confirmation needed for certain things. But I do think that what he said was very true, because I do have friends who have come out and they, you know, it has not been the greatest initial reaction, you know, or it may turn out better later on. So he essentially spoke to that, and I thought that was a very good way, a very good use of him.
Yes, it was. Because like the thing is that I like when he was saying is like, he asked her, like, remind me again how you came out to your family? And she says whatever she says. And then he's like,
oh, he was like, they love me and support me.
Yeah, because see, my coming out story is very different than yours. And it's like, the main common thing is that moment when you're about to talk to that person, when that moment that you're about to say that you're gay, that moment before you say those words is like, that is what's common for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody had that in common.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a moment where a chapter ends and a new one begins.
Yeah.
And it's like, the difference is the after.
Yeah.
The after that, like after you do that, it's like, that is what's different.
Yeah.
That is something that is not the same for everybody.
Yeah.
My favorite person in that whole movie was Dan Levi.
He was
like
fun.
He was.
Truthfully, my favorite, and she got on my fucking nerves at first, but I like Jan.
Oh, really?
I like Jan.
Even though she,
I felt bad for Jan. She was getting on my nerves after a while, but I was like, oh, Jan, baby.
Yeah. It's like you
so
kind of,
bad.
yeah, like you then feel bad for the things that she goes through.
You know what she remind me of?
Who?
Sadness. From Inside Out.
Sadness from Inside Out.
You know how you was like, oh,
yes.
Sadness, girl. Jan is the only person in that family who actually is themselves all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what? Go, Jan.
Yeah. Like the movie has value. Like the movie does.
It was
honestly,
cute. Clear to Claire.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a classic holiday movie.
Yeah, it is. It was a really nice holiday movie.
Watch it because, hello, it is 'tis the season.
Hello.
To be jolly.
So I'm Omari.
And I'm Eddie.
And we are
the two voices of the week.
Stark Natives.
Our culture unfiltered.
Discussing the way of this world and the next.
And do not... Wait.
Wait.
Tony. What do they need to not forget?
Tell me what they do. What?
Where can they hear us?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
See? So,
smart girl.
Make sure you do whatever
do everything that Tony said.
Told you to do.
And we hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. We hope that you go and watch the HAPpiEst season, and we hope that you also have a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New
Year.
Or
Happy New Year and Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever's coming up that you celebrate.
Yeah.
A Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Wednesday. And
you know what? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.